Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. Today I've got two replays to show you in the Tier 6 Tech Tree German tank destroyer, the Jagdpanzer IV, and this tank is an absolute monster. I basically had two videos left over, and I was just trying to clear up some space on my hard drive. Left over when I free marked the tank, because I have already got a free mark video out of this tank with some crazy games. But I've got some other decent games today. The first one here being top tier on Lakeville, and the second one being bottom tier. And just initially on Lakeville, we've just gone to a pretty standard position in a tank destroyer and see if we can get any damage on the cross. And we feel a little bit bad here because you can just see how fantastic this DPM is. Absolutely crazy. We just tracked that heavy tank in the open, and we are just farming all these tanks because our friendly tank destroyers, you can see, pushed up very, very aggressively very early on the right hand side, and it's probably paying off for him right now because he's probably picking up quite a lot of assistance because we've been actually just been able to destroy these tanks crossing. Like, this tank honestly is a monster, especially when it's top tier like this. It's still very capable when it's bottom tier, as you're going to see in the next replay, but yeah, top tier, it's incredible. I think you've got like 3k DPM. Yeah, I've got 3,353 DPM in a tier 6 tank in this setup. The build you would have seen on at the start of the video if you want to see. But yeah, this tank is an absolute incredibly stealthy little monster, and I loved playing this tank. So we pretty much won this side almost now. I'm pushing up now to spot the remaining tanks so we can clear this out, and then the enemy team are basically going to be trapped down the 1-2 line. And at that point, the enemy team are really going to have nowhere to go. And at that point, you more times than not, you're going to lose the game. Once you've lost all map control and you're forced to be in one corner, most of the time you're going to end up losing. And we've had almost 3,000 damage and 1 kill, so we had a pretty decent, really decent start to this game. And there's hopefully more damage to come. We're just trying to get our gun depression down. You only have 6 degrees of gun depression in this tank. I think my concealment is about 201, so it's very, very stealthy, and you've got a 220 alpha gun with a rapid reload at tier 6, and you can just really pick up damage so quickly. We try and track this enemy medium tank in position there. Unfortunately, we wasn't able to finish him off. I'd really like to finish him off so I can quickly get to the rest of the damage. But he's behind our house, but as you can see, our light tanks moving in, our heavy tanks moving in. Eventually he's going to be able to get shots, and we do pick up a shot, picking up our 4th kill of the game, put us under just shy of 4,000 damage with this game pretty much coming to an end. We're just going to see if we can try and get some more damage left. There is still 4 tanks remaining. I think it got an enemy tank, T-37, I think, in this corner. If we can spot him, we do spot him, and then we're going to just try and pick up the rest of the damage on his hit points. And like I say, this game is won now. It's just how much more we can get. We have got 4,200 damage with 5 kills now, with an opportunity to pick up the top gun if we're lucky. We're going to go and try around to see if we can get a shot. The artillery has just fired, so we're safe to go in. Unfortunately, we don't pick up the kill, but maybe we get an opportunity to pick up the kill on the last remaining tank here. We do pick in another shot, but we're not going to finish it off with a kill. But very, very quick first replay, but you can just see how quickly you can pick up damage. You do not need long in this tank to pick up damage. We get 5 kills, 5,000 damage, 2,300 base XP, which should be enough for the ace tanker there and the high caliber. But that's it for first replay. Like I say, we've got one more replay to come, which is when we are bottom tier. So let's move on to the second and final replay of the video. Okay, so here we are for the second and final replay on Ellenburg. This time it is a bottom tier, so we are on tier 8 matchmaking. There's 1 enemy artillery, 3 enemy tank destroyers, and a load of enemy mediums and heavy tanks. Now, with this video, as I say, these 2 replays were quite old. They've been sitting on my hard drive for a while, so it's not in the. You can see it's not full tank destroyer matchmaking, which you've had recently with all the sort of contracts for the TD being on and the new tank destroyer lines being out. So yeah, there's quite a lot of mediums and heavy tanks, but there is noticeably no enemy light tank, which is good news for us because we're in an incredibly stealthy tank destroyer. Means we're going to be able to get away with more riskier positions, if you like, which we may not necessarily been able to get away with if the enemy tank had a light tank sort of full sending around. But what we're going to do is we normally do from Ellenburg at the start of the game is just confirm the north hand side, just make sure if anything's crossing, I want to get any shots in, some early, some early punishment if possible, and then we can, if nothing comes this way, we can always turn around and sort of change our assessment. And it does look like there's not many tanks coming this way. Someone has pushed into sort of like the C9 area, which is a bit of a nuisance position for us. But nothing else is really crossed, and I thought, it kind of gives me the thought process that they may be coming the other side, because you don't have that many tank destroyers. I mean, it could be they're all camping their base, but quite often I would expect to have seen a few more tanks go that way. So I'm just going to pull back and just make sure if there is any tanks coming up the other side that we're in a position to cover them, because we don't have that many tanks over this side. Like I say, there's no light tanks, so we can get away with a bit more risky positions. Like I say, we are quite far forward right now, and I was thinking about, as you can see, I was thinking about pushing down to sort of the K sort of line area to try and spot them crossing. But I pulled out of it because there was so many tanks to shoot, and now this Cromwell crosses. Thankfully, he gets tracked and placed to slow him down. I try and retrack him. He then gets taken out, which is good, because I didn't really want him to get much further than that, because then he would be able to potentially light us. We get a nice shot into that enemy Earthshaker. We are a few tanks down right now, but it's still fairly even. And at this point, I'm just trying to knock down a few trees here just to give us a little bit more protection on a cover if needed. And I'm just trying to blind fire where that Earthshaker was, because if he does poke, then I want to be able to get a shot into him. Wasn't quite able to get a shot. We destroyed this destructible cover, because now I can shoot both sides of the house. If he does poke out on the left, if he does poke out on the right, I'll be able to get a shot into them. And it's just about being patient, because we are losing this game at the moment. And I'm in a stealthy tank destroyer. There's no real reason for me to push, because the enemy tanks are starting to make their way towards us. We get a nice shot there into that enemy Skoda medium. Then we pull back just so he doesn't detect us. But now we've got the opportunity to shoot these heavy tanks in the open. And it doesn't take long. Like I say, it really doesn't take long to pick up damage in this tank. The second something gets caught in the open, you can see with that 220 alpha and that reload you've got, you can just pick up damage so quickly. Like, we're able to kill that heavy tank before he's able to get safe, and put this on to about 1500 damage. We then put that enemy Skoda onto a one-shot, and the enemy I6 now is looking like he's going to cross. I'm trying to track him in place here, because if I can track him in place, he's caught in a really awkward situation. We get very fortunate with that track shot, and now if he hasn't got a good crew or a repair kit, we're going to be able to keep him permo tracked with nowhere to go. And we're just farming a tier 8 heavy tank here. So it feels bad for him, but we managed to pick up all of his hit points in damage or track assistance there. Putting us onto 3000 damage now and 2000 track assistance. And we've now sort of taken the lead in this replay, putting himself into an 8 versus 5. Hopefully I can get some more shots into this tier 8 medium Earthshaker here. He does get tracked in place. We should have to kill, and we do. We pick up our first kill of the game. But we do get detected for it, and I think that was from maybe that Skoda on the other side. Trying to pull back here. He's going to put 3 shots into us, and now we've got to be a little bit careful, because we are a clippable target for that tank, or could be a one-shot to some of the tanks left remaining. So we've got to be a little bit smarter now. We're going to try and get a finishing shot here into that enemy medium. I wasn't actually expecting to get detected there. So now I'm just going to try and get safe, because the enemy artillery is looking at us as well. We should be able to finish off this one-shot medium here if we're lucky. We do get the shot in to pick up the second kill, putting us into 3,700 damage and 3,000 assistance in a tier 6 bottom tier lobby. So we had a really nice game here. Just the enemy artillery, this enemy E25 left, which I imagine is not going to be alive for long, and we're just going to try and head over and finish off this E25. If you did like these replays in this particular tank, like I say, I do have a video up where I third marked it. So if you search for that on my channel, I actually had some crazy games in this tank. I think I've got like a 8 kill, 6 kill damage, 6k, 1000 damage, 8 kills game. There's a few really big ones on there when I was free marking the tank. These are just some videos which were left over, and I thought I'd just share with you today. So that is it for the replay. We see we do have a nice game. 2 kills, 4000 damage, 2600 base XP, 3000 assistance, and it just shows this tank is You know, it doesn't take long to get damage, and it can still be very capable even when you are bottom tier if you get the right situations. So that is all. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, happy tanking.
Enemy in sight. Hadouken!